Welcome to Learn Commerce PU online classes. Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
Hello students, welcome to 2nd PUC English online class. In today's class, let us read and discuss the 12th chapter, that is The Voter by Chinua Achebe. Chinua Achebe, he is a Nigerian novelist, poet, professor and critic. Achebe's novels focus on the traditions of Igbo society. Igbo is the name of the inhabitants of the villages in Nigeria. The effect of Christian influences and the clash of Western and traditional African values during and after the colonial era are the focus of novels. His style relies heavily on the Igbo oral tradition and combines straightforward narration with the representations of folk stories, proverbs and oratories. He also published a number of short stories, children's books and essay collections. Some of his works are Things Fall Apart, Arrow of God, No Longer at Ease, Enemy of the People, Girls at War. So, these are some of his writings or his works. The students, Chinua Achebe, in this story, The Voter, he is trying to discuss the political strategies or the strategies used by political parties and also by the election campaigners to woo the voters to vote them. So, this is discussed and satirically portrayed in the story. Here the voter, the protagonist of the story is Roof or Rufus Okeke. In short, he was called as Roof, and the people of the village, they are called as the people of Umuofia. The name of the village is Umuofia and they belong to the Igbo, the tradition or the tribe is called as Igbo. The name of the tribe is Igbo. So, in the story, there is a village called Umuofia which is located in Nigeria. And the people of or the inhabitants of the village, they are called as Igbo people or Igbo generation. And this generation, these people of Umuofia, they are illiterate, they are not clever, also they are very poor. And in this village, there is a political party called PAP, People's Alliance Party. And it is the one and only party was existed in Umuofia, and people who voted all together en masses, they voted the illustrious son of the village. He is Marcus Ibe. He is the leader of People's Alliance Party or PAP or PAP we can say. He is the leader of the political party called PAP or PAP, People's Alliance Party. And Marcus Ibe, he was the cultural minister of outgoing government. Outgoing government in the sense, the government had completed its 5 years terms and the re-election is going to take place. Here, Marcus Ibe, he was poor before he was elected by the people from the People's Alliance Party, and before he is entering to the politics, he was poor. people of the Umuofia, even they are poor. Marcus Ebe, he had his follower or his worker or his campaigner called Ruf or Rufus Okek. In short, he was called as Ruf. Ruf, he was a popular man in the village called Umuofia. Why he was popular? Because he from his village who got the education and stayed in the same village itself like other boys or other youngsters. He did not go to the city and settle his life or found his life's earning. Instead of that, he remained in the village itself. But after his studies, for 2 years, he worked as a he worked as a bicycle apprentice with apprentice in Port Harcourt. And after that, he had given up that job and he came to the village called Umuofia, and there he dedicated his life to the people to guide them in difficult situations and to assist them in whatever help they required in different aspects. So here Ruf, he was admired by the people of Umuofia. Whatever Ruf was saying, that they used to believe and they used to follow Ruf. And even the people, they were very grateful to him, and everyone used to admire Ruf. And such kind of a person, that Ruf, he was the follower or he was the helper, he was the worker for Marcus Ebe. And in the present government, to win Marcus Ebe was helped by Ruf. Ruf did a lot of job behind his success or behind his victory in the election. And next, then what happens? The election, the re-election was about to take place, and Rufus Okek, he was very well known about the mood of the people. He knowing very well about the mood of the people. For example, here it is given. Here he became all expert in election campaign at all levels, village, local government or national. He could tell the mood and temper of the electorate at any given time. For example, he had warned the minister months ago about the radical change that had come into the thinking of Umuofia since the last national election. The national election held before 5 years, and after that election was done, and in that Marcus Ebe was selected, and after that there was a radical changes took place in the villages of Umuofia. They learnt many things, though they were illiterate, though they are uncultured, or though they are poor, they are not so innocent or they are not so illiterate to find the point. Okay, and they came to know that the election has bought everything, all the political power or the richness or the degrees or the titles, everything was because of what? Because of their votes or because of that political power they believed. And to say about Marcus Ebe, he was a poor man. Before he was got into the election, he was serving as a school teacher, and there in the school he faced the problem, that is, he misbehaved with some lady teacher, and he was about to dismiss from his duty or from his job. At the same time, the political party entered the village and he left the job teaching profession and he joined the political party, and the people gave their votes to him and he was elected in the election, and he became the cultural minister of the outgoing government. After becoming a politician, after he became the minister, he constructed a big house called Umuofia Mansion. He gave the name to that mansion, to the bungalow or to the big house, that is Umuofia Mansion. But whatever he did, all that fame that did not came to the mind, or he was not head-weighted. Okay, he was though he was given the dwelling or shelter or apartment in the from the government itself, he rejected that and he lived in his own village, where the water supply was not there, where the power supply was not there. But from his power, what did he do? He achieved all those things. He had his personal power plant, okay, private plant to supply electricity to his new house, and that new house is filled with all the luxuries. And for the inauguration of that house, he gave invitation to all the people of his village. He was grateful to his villagers, and he called everyone, and also the dignitaries of the village. Archbishop was called, then the priests were called, the ministers were called, the village heads were called, all the villagers were called to the inauguration of his house. And people all, they came and they were very happy. They were proud of their minister or their illustrious son called Marcus Ebe. And everyone, they were full of praise for him, and they also expressed their gratitude, they also expressed their proud, they admired. And after everything is done, and even Marcus Ebe arranged a lunch or meals for the villagers, a grand meal for the villagers. After having the lunch or after having food or a grand meal, what did they say? The villagers, they said that, Chief, the Honorable Marcus Ebe, he was our son. He is a good man. He is not like the mortar which as soon as food comes its way turns its back on the ground. But when the feasting was over, the villagers told themselves that they had underrated the power of the ballot paper before and should not do so again. See here, the villagers, they realized that they had underrated the value of ballot paper before, and they do not want to do the same in the coming election. Without expectation, they gave their votes to Marcus Ebe in the previous election. But now the people of Umuofia, they realized that all these chieftains, all these titles, all this richness, all this power, all this wealth that had come from their votes. They gave their votes, that is why Marcus Ebe could achieve all these things. And now he is not poor. Who? Marcus Ebe. So the villagers, they realized that, and they thought of increasing the value of their ballot paper, in the sense their votes. They wanted some monetary bribe or monetary or money from Marcus Ebe, because however they were poor. And what happens later? Marcus Ebe, he was already prepared for this kind of situation. He was warned by whom? Ruf, because Ruf, he knew every citizen's or every inhabitant's mindset in Umuofia. Okay, so he knew what is going to happen in the coming election or re-election. So he had already warned Marcus Ebe that people are going to change their mind and people are going to demand for more money. So Marcus Ebe was well prepared for that, and he already drew down the money from his salary, okay, and few pounds he had drawn, and he changed that into shillings. Okay, he changed that into shillings, and he and his campaigners, election campaigners, they did the campaign, and in at night they did some whispering campaign, and his stalwarts in the sense loyal supporters who conducted these campaigns, and they distributed money. Also they did some speeches. In the day he made speeches, at night his stalwarts conducted their whispering campaign. Rufe was the most trusted of these campaigners. Rufe was Marcus Ebe's most trusted campaigner. Okay, most trusted campaigner of Marcus Ebe. And while giving the speech, he admired or he appreciated Marcus Ebe. And when they were conducting the whispering campaigns, they used to go to the houses, individual houses in the village, and there they used to give the speech. They used to campaign in favor of Marcus Ebe. When he went to that campaign, Marcus Ebe, Rufus O'Cake, he met an old village head called Ogbuefi Ezenwa, a man of high traditional title in Igbo or in Umuofia. And he appreciated and he admired Marcus Ebe in front of him. He said, "We have a minister from our village, one of our own sons," he said to the group of elders in the house of Ogbuefi Ezenwa. "What greater honor can a village have? Do you ever stop to ask yourself why we should be singled out for this honor? I will tell you, it is because we are favored by the leaders of PAP. Whether or not we cast our paper for Marcus, PAP will continue to rule. Think of the pipe-borne water they have promised us." So here, because of PAP ministers' help and because of People's Alliance Party, because of Marcus Ebe, the village could proudly can say that they have all the things or all those possessions, like Marcus Ebe is a boon to them. And here PAP party's campaigner Rufus O'Cake, he is trying to convince the people of Umuofia. But what was the reply from the villagers or from the elders of the villages? Besides Rufe and his assistant, there were 5 elders in the room. What did they say? An old hurricane lamp with the cracked sooty glass chimney gave out yellowish light in their midst. The elders sat on very low stools on the floor. Directly in front of each of them lay 2 shilling pieces. Outside, beyond the fastened door, the moon kept a straight face. So the doors were closed, and all these campaigns, they are going at night time. So these are illegal activities done by whom? Rufe. And dear students, these kind of activities you can find during the election time, and all the electoral bodies or election commission the election commission that will be prepared to stop all these kind of illegal activities, but still some of the illegal activities keep on going, and that happens in a present situation also. It is nothing special or it is nothing new for us, because we are seeing that, right? The same thing happens in where? In Umuofia also. There Rufe, he came to the villager's house, the doors were closed, the chimney was lightened, and there the villagers, they sat in a stool, and Rufus O'Cake, he served the people of the house, every head was served by the campaigner, okay, and he gave 2 shillings each to every head. And we believe every word you say to be true, said Eisenhower. After the distribution of money, the elder of the Umofia or elder of that house, Ogbuefi Ezenwa, what did he say? He said, we believe every word you say to be true. Whatever you said about Marcus Ebe and whatever you said about our village, every word is true, but we shall, every one of us, drop his paper for Marcus, who would live and also feast and go to a poor ritual meal. So we will cast our vote to Marcus Ebe. If there is rich meal, who will leave that and come to the poor ritual meal? Tell Marcus, you just go and tell Marcus, he has our papers and our wife's papers too. Your Marcus will get everyone's vote, not only ours but even our wife's vote also he will get. But tell one thing, what we do say is that 2 shillings is shameful. We will give all our votes, but the 2 shillings you gave, no, it's very shameful. In the sense, it is very less amount which is given by whom? Marcus Ebe. He said, he brought the lamp close and tilted at the money before him as if to make sure he had not mistaken its value. Yes, 2 shillings. He made conform with the lantern, that sooty, that old lantern, he came and tilted and he made sure it is 2 shilling. Again he said, no, this 2 shilling is very shameful because of our votes. Marcus Ebe, he achieved so many titles, even he got doctorate degrees. But people of Umofia, they never knew what's the meaning of a doctor. They thought that doctor in the sense one who gives medicine or one who is a physician. But they did not know that the doctorate is also given for someone's achievement. So such kind of innocent people they were. But they were very clear in one thing that because of their vote, who Marcus Ebe, he got all these things. In that thing they were very clear. And in coming election, they want to get money from Marcus Ebe for their votes. And they said it is very shameful. If Marcus were a poor man, which our ancestors forbid, I should be the first to give him my paper free. But what they said, if Marcus was poor, we definitely would have not expected anything from him. For free of course, we would have given our votes to him itself. But today, Marcus is a great man and does his things like a great man. Today he is a great man, he is a rich man and does the things like a great man. We did not ask him for money yesterday, we shall not ask him tomorrow. Yesterday we did not ask, tomorrow also we do not ask. But today is our day and today only we can ask him money and today only he can give us money. And who will we have climbed the Irko tree today and would be foolish not to take down all the firewood we need. Today is our chance, tomorrow we won't get. However, we climb the tree, so we take all the firewood. In the sense, whatever we can take from Marcus Ebe, definitely we will take or definitely we will ask him. Because if we did not ask yesterday, tomorrow if we ask also we won't get. Today if we ask, definitely we would get and we will ask today itself, they said. Even Ruth, he agreed to that because he had been taken down a lot of firewood, lot of benefits, lot of advantages from whom? From Marcus Ebe. Being his trusted worker or campaigner, he had taken lot of advantages, lot of profits and lot of help from Marcus Ebe, and he believed with the whom? With the villagers. Yes, of course, it is their chance that they have to get the chance. Fine, he agreed. Rufus okayed. He agreed to give money and he reverted to. Then he came to his seat. He searched in his bag and he stood up. Then he again gave one shilling each to everyone. Still the people of that house, they did not agree. Again they were shameful. They did not even touch that shillings. And when he said, then the men who had so far not deigned to touch the things looked at the floor, shook their heads. Ruth got up again and gave each man another shilling. So when they saw that third shilling, they shook their heads. They said, it is not enough. Again, it's shameful to Marcus Ibbe giving such a less money. Then what happens? Ruth again he got up and again he gave one more shillings. Total 4 shillings he gave to the people. Then finally he decided, I'm true, he said with a defiance that was no less effective for being transparently faked. The elders too knew how far to go without losing decorum. So when Ruth added, go cast your paper for the enemy if you like, they quickly calmed him down with a suitable speech from each of them. By the time last man had spoken, it was possible without great loss of dignity to pick up the things from the floor. So what happened? After giving 4 shillings to them, Ruth was angry and he got up. Though villagers was about to ask more shillings or more money, he did not give any chance to them. And what did he do? He got up in anger and he said, go and cast your worst whom you like. Do whatever you want. Do whatever you wish. This is only I could give you, not more than that. Then the villagers, they agreed. They calmed him and they agreed to give their votes to Marcus Ibbe. And next what happens? Then all the people who agreed to give votes to whom? Marcus Ibbe. Until there, Marcus Ibbe was only one man who could participate from his village and only one party was there. After that, till there, an opposition to whom Marcus Ibbe was not that easy in that village. All en masses, all together, they voted Marcus Ibbe. And now the another party is arised. Which party is that? Let us see in the next part. Thank you.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.